So you're in a creative block, or you want to learn more about the creative process, or maybe you're curious about my creative process. And I am here to help. I love this topic, and I think it's really important for us, no matter what creative pursuit we're doing, to talk about this, be transparent, and talk about success and failures. And I am going to share everything you need to know to get through your creative process and create what you want. Maybe what you want is artistic freedom. Maybe what you want is just some people to finally see your work out there. Maybe it's to get clients in what you do in freelance. Maybe it's just to create for creating itself. And let's talk about the full creative process and what you can do to get through it. So, creative block. Let's start there. I often feel that I get creative block when there's just too much noise around me, and that's the problem. My brain is just buzzing. This can be like negative and positive as well, because I kind of have that like fight, flight, or freeze thing where I just freeze a lot of the time. And that can be when even positive things are happening. So if I have like, say, a ton of ideas like all at once, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be this success in this, or like I have this project idea for this, but like how am I ever going to even attain that? Like I'm so busy, or I'm like, busy with other things, busy with work, or like my passion projects are just too much, like maybe they're unrealistic. It's okay, like let's calm ourselves down, regroup. So yeah, I freeze when I have too many ideas, and then I also freeze when there's just no motivation at all. So right now, I'm not really in like a block zone, which is good, but I can kind of feel it coming on sometimes. So I'm working on something right now, but I have like 2 other really strong ideas, or just like things I want to do and want to work on, and I have to stop myself and say, okay, you need to just focus on one thing at a time. For me, what I really need to focus on is my type studio, my typeface that I'm working on, and I might even add on another typeface. So there's already these, working ideas that are happening. Let's take it one step at a time, work on what we want to work on right now, and then maybe in like a few weeks or a month, we start addressing the next project. You're never really running out of time. I think that's a big thing for me. I always feel like I'm about to run out of time. I'm about to miss the deadline for something, and no one's gonna care after that, right? I have like this made up deadline in my head. That is irrelevant, and you are making things up. I'm telling myself you are making things up, and you can approach it when you want to approach it, and it can still work out. Now, if you're on the other side of those things where you're not coming up with ideas and you're not feeling like the problem is you're too busy, I feel like you need to approach it from just a clearing your mind mentality. We can get so inundated with social media, especially. Social media really affects me for sure, so I know it affects a lot of you out there, especially looking at other artists, designers, whatever it is that you do. I get so judgy of myself, and I start comparing myself to what other people are doing out there and how much they're doing it and how amazing they're doing it, and I think, wow, I'll never be able to catch up. That seeps in. Like the more I scroll, the more it seeps in. I know that if you're lacking motivation, you might think that going online to get inspiration is the first place to start, and I'm here to tell you to not do that. Getting inspiration is definitely an important part of the creative process, and we'll get there in a minute. But what's really important is to feed your mind. So feed your mind first, and then that creativity can come from there. And I promise you, your creativity is not in ChatGPT. I hate it, because using it is just blocking your ideas from coming from within. They're just coming from outside sources, always searching outside sources, finding inspiration online, outside sources, going on social media, outside sources, ChatGPT, outside sources, like giving you the answer, right? Like that's not coming from yourself and your creativity. You have to trust yourself. So my advice to you is don't oversaturate yourself. Feed your brain, listen to yourself, and trust your creativity and your creative process that happens naturally. So what can you do to just calm that noise? You can get off social media first off, and honestly, get out of bed, because this is my problem. I just start laying around and I think, okay, what's the point of anything, right? So get up, maybe go outside, get some fresh air, maybe like going to a new location is what inspires you and can feed your mind. Maybe going to a cafe where there's like people watching, maybe it's not people watching, maybe it's complete solitude that helps you. I would even say going to a place like a library where you can actually get inspiration, like physical inspiration from books, from things to look at, like go to an art gallery. I think it is so important to do this for your mind because it just inspires you in new ways, and it doesn't have to be obvious inspiration. Like sitting in a park for a while might not feel like you're about to be inspired, but like great ideas can come from just that few minutes of silence with yourself. So seriously, when I say trust yourself. Like you are the creative control of your life and your next projects. If you feed your mind, it will be free to be creative. Okay, I'm taking a minute to stop and chat about Webflow with you all. If you are unfamiliar, Webflow is a website experience platform where designers, creators, developers can all create their own website. Having your own website as designers is so important, especially having a portfolio website. And I'm really happy to share that Webflow now has GSAP-powered interactions and motions. Now, GSAP is the program that actually creates beautiful cinematic motion experiences. So Webflow and GSAP coming together is now going to create something beautiful for your website. Top designers now know that motion is the way forward. It's the way to storytell, to create experiences, and it's a great way to showcase your portfolio work. Things like motion, scroll effects, interactions create an interactive experience for a user. And this is such a great way to showcase design work. I really love what Webflow is doing here. I especially love the horizontal timeline bar. It works now like an editor, so I can see my timing and where my motions and interactions will go. So then I can see everything seamlessly and set things up accordingly. As you can see, it makes it so easy to try interactions like these. I think it's such a great way to showcase your work, and especially now that interactions and motions are the wave of the future. Static sites are so out, and I'm ready for more. So I'm so excited to be working with Webflow on this to showcase all the new motion and interaction you can do to create your portfolio and make it the best that it can be. I will have the link below so you can check out Webflow for yourself, so go out and create. Okay, so now you're working on a project, so you've narrowed it down. Start working on something. This is exciting. It doesn't have to be perfect at the beginning. For me, I'm working on my typeface. So what that looks like in the beginning of my creative process is the research. So yes, this is the part where yes, I'm looking online, I'm looking at inspiration, and it's more focused. It's not so much like, oh my God, I'm seeing so many things that people are posting and they're so amazing. How can I ever measure up? It's more like, okay, what do I want to do based off of what I'm seeing online? What do I want to create? How can I create things in an even better way? Or like, it doesn't even have to compare to anyone. It's just like, wow, I'm seeing all these amazing images and feelings, and how does that reflect back onto me for this project? So it is more focused, curated, poignant. But it's not just inspiration, it's also research. So I actually take the time to study what I want to do. So I look at a lot of things from an art history perspective because that is my background, but I love to learn new things. So if you don't know about art history, definitely like start learning the art history references to something that you're wanting to do. Start learning the history of that thing you want to create. Like I want to create a calendar at some point. That'd be amazing. That's one of my big ideas. But yeah, if I want to do that, like let's look into the history of that. Let's look into the history of the design of that. For my typeface, I'm looking at old references. I'm looking at my designing type book and all of the images it has in there and references to other typefaces that have come before. I'm always striving to look within the context of what I'm making. So what happened before to inform what we're doing now. And I just think it's a great framework to look at what you want to do in your work. And it's a very serious way to look at your work. So I think it's a great way to do it. You can also find just inspiration and more modern references, more contemporary things, like more nature, like what's happening around you, political things, if that's like the type of art you're wanting to make. Obviously look at what's happening now, what came before, just like take some time to learn what it is you want to move forward with. And yes, even for things like illustration, like if you're just wanting to make like a cute drawing, like look into that, look into the history of that. I think it's very fun and it's a great way to actually like learn and build your fundamentals. I literally have goosebumps on my arms this entire time because I'm so cold. I'm sorry if you've noticed. Okay, now a big one. Whether this is going to help you get out of your creative block or get you through the creative process in the best way. This is something I have to deal with all the time, not even just about block, but what I deal with throughout my projects, like through them, working through them. Pinpoint where your fear is coming from. Now, we all have fear. We deal with a lot, we're all human, right? But figure out where that fear comes from. Does that come from you comparing yourself to others? Does that come from you like being afraid of being judged? Being afraid of putting your art out there publicly, being afraid of being honest in your art, being afraid of not being good enough in your art, being afraid of literally anything. Like there's so much that resonates with me, honestly. Am I talented enough? Do I have enough knowledge on this to even speak on it? Do I have the skills? Do I have the tools? Do I need to go out and get the tools? And is that holding me back? Because I'm thinking, oh, well, I don't even have the medium to make this, so why bother? Like, I don't even have the space to make it. Sometimes I use that as an excuse. I think, well, I don't have a studio, so how can I make something like this big? Or like, what? How, like the only thing holding you back is you. Yes, obviously there are financial things and logistical things that can hold you back. I totally understand. There's so much stuff that's out of our control as humans, which I hate about adulthood. I hate about life, that everything is out of my control. But but within the things you can control, your fear is something you need to overcome. A lot of the time, my fear comes from perception, public opinion, just comparing myself to others, and I think that's a big common one. But I think it's really important, if that is your fear, to actually do the opposite and share your work as much as possible. I am always sharing my work on social media, and I think that's pretty brave, especially for the amount of change I've gone through and the amount of like skill I've had at the beginning to now. Like the changes all in public, they've all happened. But it's a really big part of the creative process to push through the fear and almost take a hold of it. Now, also through this creative process, I have been learning, especially in designing a typeface, that sometimes it is quantity over quality. And I've been talking about this concept recently. Sometimes when sharing your work and expressing yourself more publicly, it's about having as much as possible to share. It's about resonating with people. It's about resonating with an audience, like your art and who it touches. And I think it's really important to just keep creating and not edit ourselves as much. I think it's great to show behind the scenes. It's great to tell a story with your art. And I kind of feel like this is like a social media versus reality thing, where sometimes I'm like, okay, the reality of my work right now is just like messy, and then I only want perfection on social media, right? And I'm like, no, I think it's important now to express all of it and show all of it, all sides of me, and share that story. And I think that's what resonates with people as well. And I think this applies to like every type of art. Like if you're painting, or even if you're doing design work, like you can show that behind the scenes. You can show that in progress. You can show the failure and the achievements and the success. And there's just so much that you can do. And I think it's not about just perfection all the time. And because that's like real life, right? So like real life is now becoming the social media trend, which is a weird, twisted thing, but it is happening. I just think this is an important part of my work, so I thought I would share it with you, because I know a lot of you are trying to like get your work out there as well, and maybe get clients out of it, or just get followers out of it, gain a platform to express yourself. So it's important, I know, to a lot of people. But of course, in doing this, like stick to who you are. It's so important. This creative process is really about your personal point of view, and it is important. Your point of view is important. That's why I'm saying stop going to ChatGPT for answers and ideas. Like that just stops your brain from thinking for yourself. And it's just like, are we all becoming one thing? No. We need to stay artistic, stay creative, stay ourselves. So don't let social media stunt your creativity. Let it help you along the way. Let it be a tool. But I think it's most important to have your own point of view. And I think that through your creative process is where like your best ideas will come from. With quantity over quality, sometimes it's just about sharing everything, or also just doing everything. Like if you don't want to share it, okay, that's fine too. But like complete every idea through. Like just do it. With my typeface, this makes so much sense because you have to go through so many iterations of letter forms. And for me, I feel like I stop myself, or I erase things, or I think, okay, well, that idea is not great, so let's like put put it to the side. No, like just see it through. And yes, I might end up with like 50 sheets of paper everywhere being like, okay, bad ideas, whatever. But I think it's so important to just create everything, create every idea, because that's me. Those are my ideas. That's who I am as a designer and a creator, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna see it through, and then I'm sure that the great ideas will come out of that. Like my best ideas come out of my ugliest work. I make something ugly at first, and then I go, oh, wait a minute, let me remember who I am, and then I do the amazing thing. So yeah, it's just how life goes, and it's how the creative process goes. Okay, I really like this conversation, and I really hope it helped you too. I feel like in just talking about like creative block and the creative process, like our journeys in design and art, it's just like so much pressure sometimes to be perfect, and that's not what I want to share on my channel. I just want to share like what I'm up to and what I'm working on and how I'm moving through all of it, and I know you guys appreciate that, so that's what I want to bring to my videos. Like I don't want to just do logo design. I'm so over logo design. Like I'm ready to share more and more about the vulnerable sides of art and running a business and design and all that. So yeah, let me know what else you want to see in my videos in the comments, because I would love some ideas actually. God knows I'm not going to ChatGPT for some video ideas, so let's brainstorm together. And I'll see you in my next video next week, and I love you guys. Okay, subscribe if you're not subscribed, like this video, or I'll tell on you. Okay, bye.